Donald Trump, the former U.S. president, has proposed sweeping tariffs of 10% on all imports into the United States. Additionally, he plans to impose even stricter measures on China, targeting its exports with tariffs as high as 60%. This aggressive strategy, aimed at reshaping global trade dynamics, could have significant impacts not only on the U.S. economy, but also on the broader international market. While these measures are designed to protect American industries and reduce trade deficits, history suggests they could have unintended consequences. China has previously shown remarkable resilience and adaptability in the face of U.S. trade restrictions. Rather than collapsing under pressure, the country has often leveraged these challenges to strengthen its economic and technological capabilities. In this video, we will explore Trump's proposed policies in detail, examining their potential adverse effects on the U.S. economy, such as higher consumer costs, disrupted supply chains, and strained international relations. Join us as we analyze the broader implications of these trade policies and consider how they might reshape the economic relationship between the world's two largest economies. During his presidency, Donald Trump launched a trade war with China as part of his America First policy, aimed at reducing the U.S. trade deficit and revitalizing domestic manufacturing. This strategy involved imposing substantial tariffs on Chinese imports to counter what were seen as unfair trade practices and to encourage the return of manufacturing jobs to the U.S. The trade war had two primary goals. 1. Reducing the trade deficit. Trump sought to address the significant trade imbalance between the U.S. and China. In 2018, the U.S. goods trade deficit with China reached a record $419.2 billion. 2. Revitalizing domestic manufacturing. By making Chinese imports more expensive through tariffs, the administration aimed to incentivize companies to produce goods within the U.S., thereby boosting domestic manufacturing and employment. Outcomes of the trade war. 1. Trade deficit adjustments. The U.S. goods trade deficit with China decreased to $345 billion in 2019, down from the previous year's high. However, this reduction primarily resulted from reduced overall trade flows rather than a significant shift in manufacturing back to the United States. 2. Shift in manufacturing sources. Rather than relocating production to the U.S., many companies moved their manufacturing operations to other low-cost countries. This shift led to increased U.S. trade deficits with nations like Vietnam, Thailand, and Mexico, as businesses sought to avoid tariffs on Chinese goods. 3. Economic impact on U.S. consumers and businesses. The tariffs raised costs for American consumers and companies. A study estimated that U.S. consumers and firms importing goods lost approximately $51 billion or 0.27% of GDP due to the 2018 tariffs. After accounting for increased government tariff revenue and gains for U.S. producers, the net real income loss for the U.S. was estimated at $7.2 billion or 0.04% of GDP. 4. Limited return of manufacturing jobs. Despite the administration's intentions, there was little evidence of a significant return of manufacturing jobs to the U.S. The tariffs did not result in a substantial reshoring of production, and the overall impact on U.S. manufacturing employment remained limited. In response to trade tensions initiated by the United States, China has shown remarkable resilience and adaptability through strategic diversification of its trade relationships, a strong emphasis on self-reliance, and substantial investments in technology and innovation. Diversification of trade relationships. To offset the impact of U.S. tariffs, China actively expanded its global trade partnerships. By 2020, it had become the largest trading partner for over 120 countries, highlighting its crucial role in international commerce. This diversification not only reduced China's dependence on the U.S. market, but also strengthened its economic connections with other nations, enhancing its overall trade resilience on the global stage. Emphasis on self-reliance. China has strongly prioritized self-reliance, especially in critical sectors such as technology and agriculture. The Made in China 2025 initiative exemplifies this strategy, aiming to position China as a global leader in high-tech industries like semiconductors, aerospace, and biotechnology. Additionally, China has reduced its reliance on U.S. agricultural imports by diversifying its sources and enhancing domestic production. For example, agricultural imports from the U.S. fell from $43 billion in 2022 to $34 billion in 2023, with further declines expected. Investments in technology and innovation. China has made significant investments in research and development, (R&D), to drive innovation and technological progress. It is now the world's second-largest R&D spender, accounting for over 20% of global investment. This commitment has fueled advancements across several high-tech sectors. Semiconductors. China has made substantial strides in developing its semiconductor industry to reduce reliance on foreign technology. In 2023, more than 350 semiconductor projects were underway, focusing on mature processes to enhance domestic production capabilities. Renewable energy. China has emerged as a global leader in renewable energy, particularly in solar power and electric vehicles, EVs. Since introducing the Renewable Energy Law in 2005, the country has elevated the sector to a national strategic priority, resulting in significant advancements in solar cell and lithium battery manufacturing. Electric vehicles. China's focus on the EV market has led to rapid growth. In 2022, the country exported 679,000 EVs, a 120% increase from the previous year. This expansion underscores China's dominance in the global EV market. Unintended consequences of U.S. tariffs. The U.S. tariffs on Chinese goods have had several unintended effects, notably increasing costs for American consumers and accelerating China's technological advancements. If you find this content insightful or thought-provoking, please consider hitting the like button. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to leave a comment below. Your interaction helps our community thrive and reach others who might benefit from these discussions. Thank you for being such an essential part of our journey. Impact on U.S. consumers. The tariffs led to higher prices for imported goods, directly impacting American households. Estimates suggest these tariffs cost the average U.S. household between $1,900 and $7,600 annually, depending on their scope and duration. These increased costs were primarily due to importers passing additional expenses on to consumers, raising the prices of everyday items. Proposed tariffs of 10% to 20% on imports and up to 60% on Chinese goods were expected to further increase household costs by an estimated $2,600 per year, particularly affecting lower-income families. China's technological advancements. In response to U.S. trade policies, China intensified its focus on technological self-reliance, achieving significant progress in various high-tech sectors. Semiconductor industry. China has made substantial advancements in its semiconductor sector to reduce reliance on foreign technology. In 2023, more than 350 semiconductor projects were underway, focusing on mature processes to enhance domestic production capabilities. Artificial intelligence, AI. China's progress in AI has been remarkable, with significant investments positioning it as a global leader. This development has raised concerns in the U.S., prompting a congressional commission to recommend a large-scale initiative comparable to the Manhattan Projecto Advanced Artificial General Intelligence, AGI, in response to China's advancements. The U.S.-China trade tensions have significantly reshaped global supply chains, leading to notable shifts in manufacturing locations and trade patterns. Manufacturing relocation to other countries. In response to increased tariffs on Chinese goods, many companies chose to move their manufacturing operations to other countries with lower production costs, rather than bringing them back to the United States. This trend, known as nearshoring, has made countries like Vietnam, Mexico, and Malaysia attractive alternatives. Vietnam. The country has seen a surge in foreign investments as companies aim to avoid U.S. tariffs on Chinese goods. According to official data, Chinese investors poured nearly $4.5 billion into Vietnam, a 78% increase compared to the previous year. Mexico. Mexico has emerged as a major beneficiary of the U.S.-China trade war, particularly in sectors like electronics and automotive manufacturing. The country's exports to the U.S. have risen significantly as companies relocate production to bypass tariffs. Malaysia. Malaysia's electronics industry has experienced substantial investment growth over the past 18 months. Both US and Chinese companies have sought to avoid tariffs by shifting production there, strengthening Malaysia's position in the global supply chain. China's trade through intermediary countries. Despite tariffs, China has maintained its global trade presence by rerouting exports through intermediary countries. This strategy involves exporting goods to neighboring nations, which then re-export them to the United States, effectively circumventing direct tariffs. A study examining the 2018-2019 US-China trade war found clear evidence of increased rerouting of Chinese goods through countries like Vietnam to reach the US market. These developments highlight the complex dynamics of global trade and supply chains, where companies and countries adapt to policy changes by shifting manufacturing bases and modifying trade routes to minimize economic impacts. Shifts in the global financial landscape. In parallel, the global financial landscape is undergoing significant changes, particularly with the increasing internationalization of China's currency, the yuan, renminbi. This trend signals a gradual move away from the dominance of the US dollar, reflecting broader shifts in global economic power. China and Brazil's local currency trade agreement. In March 2023, China and Brazil reached a landmark agreement to conduct bilateral trade using their respective local currencies, the yuan and the real, effectively bypassing the US dollar as an intermediary. This arrangement aims to reduce transaction costs and minimize exchange rate risks, thereby facilitating smoother and more efficient trade between the two nations. The first transaction under this agreement took place in October 2023, marking a significant milestone in Sino-Brazilian economic relations. The Bank of China played a pivotal role in facilitating this deal, assisting Brazilian enterprises in opening offshore yuan settlement accounts and enabling them to accept payments directly in yuan. China and Brazil's recent actions signal a growing trend among nations seeking to reduce their reliance on the US dollar in international trade. This shift is fueled in part by concerns over the United States' use of financial sanctions, which capitalize on the dollar's dominant role in global finance. By diversifying their currency usage, countries aim to diminish the impact of such sanctions and bolster their financial sovereignty. For example, Russia has been actively promoting the use of alternative currencies in international transactions to bypass US sanctions. At the BRICS summit in October 2024, Russia proposed creating an alternative international payments platform designed to withstand Western sanctions. This underscores a broader push by some nations to establish financial systems less influenced by the United States. That wraps up today's video. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. We're truly grateful and thrilled to have you as part of our community. If this video resonated with you or brought you inspiration, please consider showing your support by liking the video and subscribing to our channel. Your support helps us continue creating content that uplifts and inspires, just as you uplift us. And before you go, we've got another exciting video queued up for you. It's right on your screen now, so don't miss it. Well, see you next time. Thanks again for watching.